Yes, man them, gal them, and people them, whatever you want to class yourselves as. I don't really care. A lot of City fans. I wonder why. But I just thought, we got to run this clip back up, just because Raul might be watching this.
And the end bit, people take note to the very end bit, the last segment, please.
There we go.
You know what they say? You don't have money. And now you are taking money from everywhere. So relax because you don't win anything yet, okay? Relax. Hold on. Play the second boss in the referee. Okay, shut up.
That's it.
That's it. I still believe in my team. I still believe in my team.
Finish.
And this is the Magic 99 field. Look at Vinicius.
We're still winning.
Vinicius Junior. Okay, shut up. Because it's 1-0 and there's still 90 minutes to play in the Camp Nou, okay? So shut up. Cucurella very slim.
They've switched off completely.
Cucurella. Dream estrella y paella. Vamos, City. Are you ready? Are you ready?
I'm ready, bro.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
I am ready.
Bro, I'm already telling you, I'm looking to book my flight later on. I'm ready. Are you ready?
I am ready.
I don't think Raul was ready because Raul didn't want to show up today. I don't blame him.
I don't think he was ready. I don't think Real Madrid were ready.
I mean, it wasn't just one goal. It wasn't 2 goals. It wasn't 3, but it was 4. Now, before we start, I'll need to push an agenda. Can I do that? I'm allowed to push an agenda?
I know what agenda you're going to push already. Okay. I just tagged you in something. You're not the only one pushing it now. It's on Twitter.
I'm ready. Alvarez, Ballon d'Or winner. What I say? You got a goal in a semi-final. Who says he doesn't get a goal against Milan? It won't be that hard anyways. So what we saying? Alvarez,
what I'm saying is I'm currently looking at that ended. I think the end of that clip I said I'm looking to book my flight. That was to Madrid. I'm looking to book my flight. Me and Steve are looking at flights right now to Istanbul. And do you know what is beautiful?
You might have to go to the bottom there.
Last season we were singing Bernardo Silva running down the wing. Silva makes the Blue Boys sing Silva. We're all going to Madrid. And all season we've been singing we're all going to Istanbul. And Bernardo Silva.
Yeah.
What a man. What a man. Now, people, anyone that doubted City get rid of Cancelo, Pep pushing for Cancelo to leave, look at Bernardo's form since Cancelo left this football club. I said at the time, someone needs to go to Bernardo and say, listen, Bernardo, we get it. You want to leave. No problem. You can leave in the summer. We won't hold out for 60 million, 50 million. We'll let you go for, cut price. But we just want another 5 months of Bernardo Silva at his best. Today, Bernardo Silva, unbelievable. Akanji, man. Listen, we've been raving about how good Nathan Ake has played that position this season. And then since he's been injured, Akanji's just slid in and said, no problem. This is what Pep does. He's got the system and everyone knows how to play the system. Akanji, unbelievable. Mo, who else can you pick out today? Edison.
John Stones.
John Stones.
Yeah. I think he was actually the key for every play. I thought his movement off the ball created all this.
No chance.
John Stones was great.
Me and that saw John Stones boot that through ball way too many times.
But that's not what he should be doing.
No, agreed. That isn't what he should be doing. That's not. You know what? What I said is, that right, we've got two people this season that have been playing that inverted role: John Stones and Trent. Now, for me, I'm still saying the jury is out on Trent. We know Trent can play these passes, but Liverpool have not played anyone of any substance yet to know that he can do that inverted role. John Stones is not there to play those world-class passes. That's not what he's there for, because ultimately that isn't really what Man City do. He's there to dominate and control the midfield from that position, to recycle the ball. If it doesn't work down the left, to be that option, to switch the ball quickly to the right and to know to pick the right passes. And I think John Stones did a great. I do agree with you. Once or twice, John Stones maybe got ahead of himself and tried to play these worldy passes over the top. It's not what he's there for, though.
Can I mention two names? I'm going to mention two names, and there's one obvious one and one not so obvious one. The first one I'm going to say is Rodri, and he just goes to show why his level was above every single DM in the entire game at the moment. The entire game. I actually think he's on near. He's pretty much reaching. Obviously, he hasn't got the cuts behind him as he does, but he is Busquets levels.
Bro, listen, I said when we were linked with Rodri to first sign him, I looked into it. Yeah. And anyone that says, oh, you know, he wasn't overly rated in La Liga, he was seen as the future Busquets, right? The reports from Spain were that he is the future Busquets. He's a very similar role to that. And he is. It's the calmness of him. But the second name, now, Mo, I'm going to give you the opportunity to say a name.
What name? For Man City?
I want you. Yeah, today.
I'm going to say one. Oh.
No. I want Mo to say a name, yeah. You know who I want you to say, bro.
I thought Jack Grealish was okay, yeah.
Okay.
No. Really?
Okay.
You thought he was okay?
It was. I didn't think he was. I thought that out of the two wingers, I thought that Bernardo.
That's different. Bernardo wasn't even a winger today. He was.
But let me just add to that. Jack Grealish today had Carvajal on toast. He made the guy overlook his shoulder every time. He's like, where is he going? And this is something that we have not seen from Jack Grealish all like the whole year. I thought today he was so direct. It was unbelievable. He's like, Pep Guardiola told him, take the ball and take this man to the line. Make him think about the next move. His dribbling today was immense. I thought Jack Grealish today was so good. But I was still like Bernardo Silva today. I thought his positioning was
impeccable. He's easily man of the match, and that's why he's got the man of the match trophy right there. But I'm going to say two other names. And I know he's not going to get as much recognition, but first name, Kyle Walker. Why I'm going to say Kyle Walker is because if he did not make Vinicius look slow in the end, that's probably 1-0, or was it 2-1?
That's easy game for Kyle Walker. I was an easy game for Kyle Walker today.
But when we're talking about defender having an easy game, that means they're having
moments. And that moment, Cass, you're right. That moment where Vinicius could have been through, and literally, I don't know where Walker put the burners on. And I've been saying that, you know, Pep came out and said a few weeks ago, you know, Kyle Walker isn't really fitting the system at the moment. And I said before we played Real Madrid in the first leg, there's no way Pep would come out and criticize Kyle Walker the way it wasn't really a criticism. It was just an observation without having a word with him behind closed doors. And with Walker being a senior player, I said, I bet you it would have been something like, right now, you might not be getting as much game time as you want, and John Stones might be starting over you. But at some point this season, in a big moment, I'm going to need you. I'm going to need Kyle Walker. And these, you know, semi-final, home and away, Kyle Walker has shown. And actually, do you know what? I think against Leeds it was as well. No, Everton it was. He put a couple of amazing recovery tackles in. He was. Do you know what? But we can say that about most of the team. Edison, I'm so happy for Edison because for seasons and seasons, an element of the Manchester City fan base, it's predominantly the new school Man City fan base that are absolutely obsessed with the Champions League. They tend to use a social media platform called Twitter. They, every season when we get put out the Champions League, say, oh, we need a clutch goalkeeper. We need someone that can make these big saves. In the last, I think probably in every round of the Champions League knockout this season, Edison has made clutch saves. And again today, he was spot on, man. And
Tony Kroos shot that was going in.
Yeah. And there was, I think there was another one as well. There was another one that he got a touch on.
Corner one, I think.
Even the through balls, knowing that through balls were maybe overhit slightly and coming out. I also think, Mo, remember last night when a super chat asked if I could take one Real Madrid player and he doesn't start today, and I said Courtois.
Oh yeah, he's amazing. Like he's the best in the world in my opinion.
Shot stopper,
shot stopping. Oh my god, reflexes.
Yeah,
he's so good. But today, to be honest, like this, do we think that Man City were amazing today, or Real Madrid were made to look garbage?
A bit of both. I'm going to say a bit of both. I'm going to say a bit of both
Okay.
because Man City were slick and precise in what they needed to do to control it. But then Real Madrid kept giving away the ball, even in moments that City didn't even press. And it's like they just recycled the ball back for them. It was like Real Madrid all over again. They did get quality on, like they did show a bit of quality Real Madrid in the end. But again, this is what I screamed. Toni Kroos, no good, man. Not for me. Modric off the pace. And I know he's 38 years old, but you're still playing in a high caliber game. And you know, it was a great game in the end. And then obviously, bro, there's no service to Benzema whatsoever. They starved him. That's the last thing I was gonna say was actually a Kanji, man. It's just like you take out their flanks, they got nothing going on for them. They don't. Am I wrong? That Kanji was sick off the ball and on the ball. So
I think Kanji was unbelievable today.
Yeah.
Mo, I get what you're saying because I just asked this question on Kopish where Manchester City were definitely good today, right? Let's be very clear. They were definitely good today. But I said,
yeah, well, you're
sometimes,
brilliant.
But sometimes in games, you can be so good that you make a team look really bad. Or sometimes a team are also bad. And I said, I don't know which one it is yet. I'll have to watch it back a couple of times before I make my decision. But one thing I'd say is, I was watching some interviews of Ancelotti in the build-up to this game, and he was doing the usual Ancelotti thing of talking about, you know, that you can be the best team and you can play the best football, but in the Champions League, it's about knowing how to do it, and that's what we do. There was points in this game where I started to think, has that been Ancelotti's tactics going into this game? We are Real Madrid, and because we are Real Madrid and the players that we have, we're gonna win this. Because at times, I mean, when we scored our first goal, who was it that went over? One of the Real Madrid players went over to Ancelotti, and it looked like the conversation was like they didn't know what had hit them. They really did not know what had hit them. And I think the first leg impacted them a lot. I think it also impacted us. It gave us the belief. The form we're in gave us belief. The noise of the Etihad gave us belief. And we can pick out so many players that had great games, but you know, the key today was the desire to win every single ball. We were just, you know, there was times where we had no right in winning the ball back as quickly as we did. And we just put so much pressure on them so quickly that they just didn't have a chance. It's one of those performances that, I don't know, it takes me back to City with the false nine when we used to press high and be on top and smother people and just suffocate them. And it was just, even, do you know what? I'll be honest, start of the second half, we were 2-0 up. But
The game was
I was
over,
thinking, at 2-0, honestly, this is the old City me. I was thinking one goal from Real Madrid and they're back in the game. But I do think mentally, now in hindsight, I think they were probably beaten by that point. I think mentally they were beaten.
Dude, I'm gonna do hit that like button, people, for us, please. It looks like this is underneath your live chat, please. If you just joined us, to get to 200 likes, we have 240
I can't
people.
lie. Even people watching this back now on this moment right now on 13 minutes, because Real Madrid got slapped 4. I want to see 400 likes. Like even towards the end, 400 likes. And I'm not saying by the end of this stream, but at least get halfway there. Let's get 200 likes or more. But I want 400 likes. I think 400 likes for getting smashed 4-0 is appropriate.
400 likes.
Yeah. And Wolves, if I, of course, thank you so much for the super chat saying congrats, City, most dominant UEFA Champions League semi-final, demolition, 62 pairs, 31 years. Probably this is the most, actually it was a terrible game for a neutral, if I would say, because it was one-sided, no quality from Real Madrid at all in that first half. And City just hit them really hard on their head that they just were dizzy and just fell down. JV here saying Big C called it 4-0. Arrogant frauds got humiliated. Humiliated.
And yeah, I've noticed over the last couple of weeks, the way it always happens is, and at some point, probably tomorrow, I'm going to go on Twitter, or maybe when I go to bed later and have a little look. Madrid fans are always lurking. I've noticed on the streams recently, a few Madrid fans will drop in and go, "Hello, Madrid." You know, I had one earlier on comment on
They're Man United fans. Man United fans.
Probably. I had one earlier on a comment on something saying, "You English, what makes you think that Manchester City are going to beat Madrid?" And The answer to that is the last time we played you at the Etihad, we beat you. So again, if we
Actually, it was near enough the same score, innit?
it was 4-3. It was a lot closer. But today was just a.
I mean, at the Etihad, it was.
Yeah, it's 4-3. No, it's 4-3 at the
Okay.
Etihad. But that's the thing. We're a different team. There's different. I honestly think. Look, De Bruyne was great, but De Bruyne in the first half was overhitting a lot of passes. To be honest with you, he was. So I don't even think
until he got it right.
Until he got it right. But I'm just saying that this was not today.
Yeah, how many assists did he get today?
2.
Oh, there you go.
But this wasn't the best. The mad thing is, I don't think our two clutch players, De Bruyne and Haaland, you probably would say didn't have their best games.
Fuck your heritage. Stick your heritage up your ass. That's
third time lucky. This is the third time we've played Real Madrid in the semi-final. Third time lucky.
All of you pundits on here except Daps put the respect on Rodri. No player on the planet is close to Rodri in the CDM role. He is the best in the world. Yeah, if you say so, yeah.
I think all of us just put respect on Rodri, didn't we?
Yeah, 100%. I
agree.
agree. So yeah. Thanks for the super chat. And Ozan Kabak. Yes, he played center back. I like that name. Yomo, what percentage do you give Inter to win the Champions League?
5%.
Listen, Chelsea were really underdog, and they won against Man City. I would still give my team at least a 30% chance of winning that final. It's a one game, anything can happen. And we have really quality players on the squad, to be honest. The Barella, the Brozovic, and I think the Bastoni. I think we can do some damage, especially if the players are on it. And we're gonna secure the top 4 of the Champions League early, and we're gonna be rested. The cup will be done soon. And as much as Man City are great today, I still thought, and I kept saying it, but people didn't believe me, that I wanted Real Madrid in the final because they're not as good as people make them be. They're not. They play in moments, but the team itself, they have some moments. But I've watched them a couple of times in La Liga. They aren't a great team. They aren't. Benzema today didn't even touch the ball until City allowed him to do so. Benzema, until minute 30, had no attempt passes at all, which is astonishing. Valverde today looked so mediocre. It was unbelievable. But anyway,
he looked arse, man. You know what? Actually, all of them not playing Rudiger was a massive L.
And also Camavinga today. I said it before. People didn't believe me. He is not a left back. He got both the goal that Bernardo scored. It's his fault. The first one, he really went for the ball, didn't track his man. And the second ball, he was on the right side and left the guy and went to sprint to be in his position because he doesn't know how to play as a fullback. Great player, great future. But again, it's too much pressure on him. And I want to ask Daps this. On TV, I saw you did exactly what you did the first game. Real Madrid tried to do exactly the same thing they did in the first 30 minutes in the first game. But I felt like this was different because Real Madrid players were panicking. They were nervous. And I can hear the fans cheering from the first minute. And I thought the amount of fans and the loudness of the fans, because I was hearing it on TV, the loudness made them nervous, made them think this is a hostile environment. We're not here to just compete. We're here to disrupt your rhythm.
Well,
and I felt that's what happened.
Spot on. You are spot on. Do you know what? I had hold tight Chris. He said to me earlier on that, and it irritates me when people say, the fans don't have that much of an impact or the belief of the fans isn't that important. It is. There's a reason why this happened this year and hasn't happened, it didn't happen last season. It's the second leg being at the Etihad. We knew. Yeah, Saeed,
you first, Saeed. You first. June 3rd, we're meeting there. It's you first and then Inter.
Bro, do you know what? I'll be honest. That game, the FA Cup final, don't get me wrong, yeah? I mean, it's important.
It's not easy.
But
it's important, but
easy.
It's one of them ones where, like, tonight, I always knew that if we didn't go through tonight, then Sunday we're still going to celebrate winning the Premier League and lifting the Premier League, right? And then after that, if we'd got knocked out tonight, we go, do you know what? Yeah, we got a cup final against the Rags, and we'll do a double, and we'll do a three-peat. And you know what? It's not a bad season. All of a sudden now, yeah, look, I'm not downplaying an FA Cup final against the Rags is important, but
it's not as big as the Champions League final, of course.
A few days, I'm literally sorry if my eyes keep going here. I'm trying to find direct flights. We're going Istanbul, right? We're going Istanbul. Bigger fish to fry. Right? It's almost like the FA Cup. The FA Cup final is a practice game. Do you know what I mean? It's a little warm up before we fly out. We might even fly out from Heathrow now instead of Manchester. Who knows?
Well, but to be honest, let me just say something for the record here. If this Man City team win the Premier League, which is they're destined to do it, probably even if it's not against Chelsea, it will be the next game.
Oh, it might be before Chelsea. If Arsenal don't get their ideas up, they might get lost in the forest, and then all of a sudden we'll be celebrating Saturday night.
Yeah, 100%. So if this Man City team win, and it's going to be a three-peat, and they end that three-peat with a triple, I think this is one of the best teams, not in England, in Europe. This is one of the best squads to ever be assembled and coached. Not because of the triple. The triple has been done before by Inter, by Man United before Inter, by Barcelona. But to do a three-peat in the most, and now the Premier League is like everybody spends money. You know what I mean? You cannot.
We're going to hold 6 in the final again, bro. I can already smell it, bro. Look at Ollie. Oh, now City need to go unbeaten. Shove your Premier League trophy up your arse.
I don't want to say it. Just come on. Should we listen? Sharma's here is saying, should we be scared, Mo? Well, have you watched this game, Sharma? Have you watched the game, bro? Have you watched it?
Hey, about now going unbeaten. I mean,
can you imagine if you did? That would be it.
Do you know what?
Listen, the funny part, Daps, would be, to be honest, the funny part would be you losing the 2 final. It'd be funny. I wouldn't wish it to.
And losing the last 3 games.
No,
Premier League as well.
You're not. By the way, I'll tell you something. Daps, even if you lose the last game, Arsenal are not going to win the last 3 games.
No, very true. They'll go. But do you know what? We were talking about this. Do you know what, Olu? Thank you, because we were having the conversation that if we win, if we do the treble, if we do win, which would mean winning the Champions League, while we do a three-peat and treble. Oh, some have said Pep might go, I've done everything that's asked of me now. And I said, you can imagine this is a scene. Pep's gone in the office and he's gone to Khaldoon. I've done everything you asked of me. And Khaldoon's gone, you're right. And if you want to go, you can go now. And Pep's gone, okay.
Where's he going to go?
Hold on. Pep's turned his back to walk out the door and Khaldoon's gone, I mean, Fergie never did a 4-peat. And you can imagine Pep stopping and turning around and going, it's never been done before. Challenge accepted.
I wish I was a Man City fan, but yeah.
I don't, man. Fun that.
He's like, Cass is like sitting as like, I can't say that on the stream. I cannot say that on the stream. I can't.
No, man. Everyone's had their times of glory.
You've had your time, but to be honest,
I've had my time. But it's Daps' time for now. Look, football swings his roundabouts. Currently, Daps is there. But if you don't do the 4-peat, that means he's got 1 year left. And that means, look, Pep Guardiola, at the end of the day, just get the fuck out of the Premier League, mate. Like, I'm tired. I'm just, you know, when I can't lie, I'm just tired of it, man. I'll be honest. Just shoot me off of Big Ben, mate.
Do you know why today's game, Daps, is that why I don't like Pep Guardiola? Today's game. When Real Madrid beat like before they beat teams, like even when Liverpool beat Barcelona 4-0, it was not that dominant. The problem today is that you made this Real Madrid team look so mediocre. And it's not only down to the manager. Of course, the manager is the biggest thing, but it's how he gets a 9 out of a 7 player, a 10 out of an 8 player. You know, the Akanji, Borussia Dortmund said, yeah, 15 million. He's all right. He's okay. Give me 15 million. Even Diaz for 15 million. I think people underestimate how good in getting.
This is what I'm saying. Look at this comment, Mo. Someone needs to challenge him. Who?
Come on, just give me a break, people.
Who?
This is not the 90s.
This is what I'm saying. Who?
Can I ask you a question, Mo? Can I ask you a question? Because I know obviously you don't like what Pep has done because you don't want.
But I
the same
respect
things
it though.
right. So can I ask you a question? This is a really hard one for you to answer now because you're an Inter Milan fan, so it's going to be against you. But for how good Pep is, because so this morning I was thinking about Vinny. I was thinking about as in Vincent Kompany. I was thinking about Kevin De Bruyne. I was thinking about Aguero. You know, when Aguero walked past the Champions League trophy, that hurts, you know, as a City fan, to see Aguero and everything he did for us. And that's why during the World Cup, I don't know if you can remember, I was happy that he was involved in that moment when they lifted it, because it reminded me of the fact he never got that trophy. Same with Vinny. When Vinny did his parting goodbye to all the players, he said, "You've done a domestic treble, but you ain't won the Champions League yet. You need to take this on to another level now. You need to go there." And someone had messaged me and said, "I want us to win this Champions League for De Bruyne, because I don't want De Bruyne to be another legend leave our club without that Champions League." But I also don't want Pep. With everything, don't you feel that, and I know you respect what Pep does on the football pitch, that however much he's dominated English football, that there's still this shadow that hangs over him by rival fans that go, "Yeah, but he can't be in the conversation until he wins the Champions League." And don't you feel like it would be nice for him to? And someone said to me today, a Chelsea fan said to me today when we won, he said, this is a message from Pep to the rest of the Premier League. I said, bro, he don't need to give no message to the rest of the Premier League. He's done that. This is Pep to Europe saying, I can do it with another team. I can do it without Messi. And you're spot on. Look, Akanji. Arsenal fans were saying Zinchenko was bang for the buck, was the best signing of the season. Yeah. Akanji said, "Come the fuck outside, Zinchenko," because Akanji has stepped in, and we have to remember Akanji has played across the whole of the defence this season in his first season in English football, and he's putting in performances like that. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. And you are right.
Let me answer the question. You asked me before, and I don't support any club in the Premier League, and I'm gonna repeat that again. However,
no, don't do that. Mo was a big advocate.
I never supported. I was a big advocate. No, I'm not a big advocate for Antonio Conte, who was successful at my club. So anyway, let me just tell you, Manchester City. I swear, Daps, I was walking here in City Center last week with my wife, and I saw a kid, 16 years old. I think they were like a team together, and that kid had a Man City jersey with Gundogan on it. That was just last week. And I thought, if it wasn't for Pep Guardiola, this kid in Houston, Texas would ever wear a Man City jersey. I think what Pep did is that he took your club from being a club that won the Premier League once or twice to be that dominant force that people aspire to be like. You know what? I want to be like Man City. I want to be a club that is, yes, have the money. Everybody in the Premier League have the money. I can complain about it. Other people can't. Because at the end, the net spend for other clubs are bigger than your club over the past 5 or 10 years. So I can complain about it, not being a Premier League, not supporting the Premier League. But this guy, the dominant, the way he plays football, the way he takes over the media, protects his player, I think he is the one that took your club to that next level that will say, Haaland, you know, yeah, I'm going to join Man City. If he asks for 100%. Another player tomorrow, he's like, yeah, I'm joining this guy. Because this guy is not only a winner, he dominates. And that's what Cass is asking. He's like, who can challenge this guy? Nobody, my friend. No one. No one in world football. Especially with the backing.
I'm going to be honest. Actually, I'm not going to say it yet. I'm not going to say it yet. It's too premature, innit? But if Pep Guardiola wins the Champions League, he's better than Fergie, mate. I'm sorry. I hate to say it, but he is. So, tactically
the win record would suggest that already.
Yeah,
and do you know what? And there's one thing that does,
and the treble as well.
I hate this.
I'm not even being drawn. I'm not being drawn into this conversation. I've said clearly.
I've got other questions for you, Daps. Anyways,
because I have another thing for you, Cass. What about Mourinho that won the Champions League?
Don't care about Mourinho, mate. He ain't even.
No. But Mourinho went to the top of the pinnacle of Arsene Wenger and
Yeah,
Alex
but Mourinho
Ferguson,
also went
and
to
one
Real
to
hold on,
die.
hold on.
Yeah, he went to Real
Wenger.
Madrid.
Well, respectfully,
Yeah.
respectfully,
In
Arsene
this
Wenger,
conversation.
Arsene Wenger in his golden era at Arsenal, right? And no matter what people want to say about money, I've said this before. When Arsenal fans say, yeah, but money, right? Arsenal fans, you will tell me that Wenger is one of the best managers of all time, and you will tell me that all of your players were, you know, you had some of the best players in the world, right? So therefore, money is spent to buy the best players in the world. You had the best players in the world, and you had the best manager in the world. You never retained, and you won 3 Premier Leagues, right?
Yeah.
Pep's about to win his.
Do you want the truth, Daps? Nobody of this Man City team.
Pep is about to win his 5th Premier League, right? His 5th Premier League, yeah, right. So I don't want Arsene Wenger and Arsenal to be in a conversation with us anymore.
They're not with you.
As far as with Europe, do you know what? The minute we get that Champions League, Arsenal fans, shut your mouth completely, because we've already reached, we now have officially we've reached 2 finals. You only ever reach 1, right? But when we win it, there's levels to this. You can have your trophy that's gold that you asked the Premier League to create for you, right? We didn't ask the Premier League to do nothing, because trust me, we can't ask the Premier League to do anything for us, because they'll say no. If we ask them to make us a special trophy, they'll probably turn the Premier League trophy bronze instead of silver, right? Because that's how much they dislike us, yeah? So I don't want to say something after you're done. Compare us to ourselves. Compare Manchester City to ourselves, and that's it. I'm not saying we're better than everyone, but I don't want to be compared with no one else. That's childish, man.
You're going to always be compared. That's football.
I know I know you want people to hit that like button, but I want to say something that is astonishing today. On the pitch today from Man City, none of these players came from the creme de la creme clubs. None. Not even one player on the pitch today, the Man City pitch today. Let me just count. Diaz, Porto. Not Real Madrid, not Barcelona, not Juventus, not Milan, not Inter. Akanji, Borussia Dortmund, haven't won the league in 10 years. Kyle Walker, Spurs. I don't consider them elite. Rodri, where they coming? Villarreal. John Stones, Everton. Gundogan, Borussia Dortmund. Kevin De Bruyne, Wolfsburg. Jack Grealish, Aston Villa. Erling Haaland, Salzburg, then Borussia Dortmund. Bernardo Silva, Monaco. Tell me one elite club in this. None. It's Pep Guardiola's making. He's the one who took these guys to the next level. People want to say David Alaba came from Bayern Munich. Courtois came from Chelsea. Rudiger came from Chelsea. So Modric came from Spurs. Toni Kroos came from Bayern Munich. I'm sorry, the difference between the 2 lineups. Huh?
You just said Spurs.
Modric. Sorry, Modric is not. So Modric is not. But what I mean, you know what I mean? But Cristiano Ronaldo, when he left Bayern Munich, he was on top of the world. He went to Real Madrid.
Yeah.
This Man City team is assembled not by buying superstars, but by making them. And that's what
that's it. That makes players better. But guys, there's 310 of you in here. If you haven't done so, our like count today is, if we can, even if we can't get to the goal by the end of the live, we want 400 likes for the slapping that Real Madrid got. I think Real Madrid fans got humbled in a different way today. So on that notice, 400 likes. If you haven't done so, please go hit the like button. We're nearly on 200 already. I think we're like 10 away. Yeah, about 10 away. About 10 away at the moment. So we can get to 200, the half minimum. Let's get to 250 by the end of the stream. That'd be amazing. Everyone that has done so, you're amazing. Nice to see a lot of nice City fans that can talk nicely to a United fan like me. And Mo.
Are you going to be arrogant, Daps, if you win the Champions League? Or are you going to rub it in other people's faces? Because I have seen a lot, I have said, I was talking to my wife when we were watching the game, and she likes City because we went to the Etihad, and she liked the fans, and she was in the South Stand cheating with the people. So she said, I was telling her, I'm happy for these fans that went through the trenches, as T always says, and now they are reaching the top of the world. They're not glory hunters. These people that go to the stadium in the Etihad, they're not glory hunters. They went to shit with this club.
Well, actually,
are you going to be arrogant?
There you go.
Do you know what I said to you? I said to you the other day. You know when on Sunday, the show on Sunday, and you said to Hamza, "Why does he sound upset?" And I said to you that all we actually want is respect, right? That's all we want, bro. Like, I can't talk for everyone. There will be some shameless City fans who are on Twitter, and I've been trying to. I've actually got some clips, right, that I've played recently, because some Arsenal fans this season have said I've been arrogant and showed them respect and whatever else. Firstly, people that say that to me, you don't understand the DMs I get off of your fan bases. Yeah, you don't understand the crap that I take from your fan bases. Firstly, so, but secondly, we won't be like that, because all we want is you lot to just like straight away the minute we win it. I've actually had someone today. I've had so far the two things I've seen, and I've been on shows pretty much since the game's ended. I've got one saying, yeah, but Pep wouldn't do this with, say, the likes of Wrexham or Luton, and when's Pep going to go to a team without money and do it? So we've got that. And secondly, I've got people saying, come back and talk to us when you win 3 Champions Leagues, right? That, all right, no problem. The truth of the matter is, when we win the Champions League, I can tell you now, all City fans are going to be in Istanbul celebrating together. We're not going to be jumping to talk to other people. And when I get back, I'm just going to say, right, can you drop this whole agenda now that, you know, we haven't got the Champions League, and just let us be. I started this season off giving Arsenal so much credit, right? But if I say one thing wrong, then I'm being called plastic. I'm being told about oil money.
That's the funny one. What did we see earlier, by the way? We saw something earlier, them saying they said not we, they said they on a tweet. An Arsenal fan said, what did they expect us to do against this super team? And not something like instead of saying what did like as in rival fans, what did they expect? Not rather than what did we expect when they expect to win the league, right? You can't do if buts or maybes and juggle and move the goalposts as much as you want. It's just some people, Always is right. Some people are just daft.
But you know what, bro? I think honestly, you know, people will have this opinion that City are plastic fans, we're royal, we haven't supported them for long, and all of those agendas. But the fact of the matter is,
I know you did. I saw the picture, so I know you did.
Yeah, no. But the ones I would have.
Anyone that actually wants to do any sort of like.
No, but if you're above 20 years old, and you supported City and you supported a different club beforehand when you was like 11, 10 years old, I'm sorry, mate. That's what you call a plastic. That's a proper plastic for me. Like,
but I don't want to go there. I really don't.
I'm not, because you're gonna summon the what do you call him? The digital dickhead, isn't it? That's the
digital
one.
Dickhead will be about.
I really don't want to do that. Yeah.
Let me go through a couple of the super chats as well. Snooker Stones just got home from the game. You are a lucky man. Unbelievable performance by City. Kyle Walker is easily the best right back defensive in the world and has been for years. I was gonna say, look, I done a tweet. Imagine 100%. This. I said in the Premier League for me ever. I said Kyle Walker for me is the best right back to ever be in the Premier League. I remember I got killed on Twitter, and this was only about a month or 2 months ago. Go search up as well. So yeah, I agree. Kyle Walker defensively is good, but remember, people forget about his offensive game as well. Like, people forget his offensive game back in his day, because remember, Kyle Walker's like 32 years old. People forget how good he was going forward, like when he first joined Pep.
I still even think this season, some of his over recent weeks, him and Mahrez down the right, the way they've got such a great understanding of knowing when to overlap, when to underlap. And the other thing I will say is, I've said this for years, is that sometimes Walker is just good at making the runs to scramble defenses. Right, that if you imagine, if you're a defender and all of a sudden you see Kyle Walker just making a run into the box, he pulls you out of position. He might never end up getting that ball, but his run alone has done enough to create space. And that's actually what Grealish did. Remember, at one point today, Grealish did today perfectly what he always does, where he can draw 2 players out of position, and then he'll just play a simple pass back to Gundogan or Rodri, and they're there with plenty of space because 2 players have run with Grealish.
How much you kept saying it to me today as well. I've got a couple other super chats, so can I come back to you on that point as well? Because I want to say something that you said to me during the game.
Into flights.
King Juice here, big up yourself for the massive super chat. He says, big up, gents, big fan from the States. Congrats to Daps and Mo on the final, and Cass for hosting. I was wondering how Harry Kane feels right now. He's supposed to be in a treble race, but that lizard named Levy crushed that guy's dreams. Yeah, but you could say
Mad.
that, to be
In
fair.
hindsight, you
Would have
sit
played a
thinking that.
different game though, and you never know in hindsight if you're actually going to use that word. But big up for that super chat.
Yeah,
Much
massive respect for that. And actually, Mo,
Sorry,
it's mad, isn't it? This
sent me something.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
good.
That last super chat, it's mad, isn't it? It's fake
Yeah.
that
If
City
we
and
win
Inter,
it, we
City and
still
Inter
want
are in the
more Premier
Champions
League
League
titles.
final.
Can I see it again?
No, so not that one, the last one. I'm just saying it's mad that
fan from the States. Congrats to Daps and Mo on the final. I was wondering how Harry Kane feels right now. He was supposed to be in a triple race, but that lizard named Levy crushed that guy's dream. I think that's what we learned lately, by the way, that it was for completely different reasons. We'll talk about it off the air. That why Harry Kane actually, even with the money, they offered the right amount of money, he just didn't want.
It would have changed, but there would have been a different. It would have been a different style of play for City.
But
Cancelo
do you want truth? They would have won the Champions League last year if they had Harry Kane.
Probably.
no. Do you know what we learned? Someone.
It was in the last year.
Hold tight. I can't remember who it is. I'll find his name and I'll shout him out in a minute. But he made a great point. Last season, before you put that one up, last season, Mo, we were 1-0 up and we were dominating that game, and a player got injured, right? And when that player got injured, Cancelo switched to the right, Zinchenko came on, played on the left. Kyle Walker, that's the difference. Kyle Walker last season got injured. When he got injured, I always said it, we changed, right? Kyle Walker could stay in the team. And do you know what? You can't put your finger on one player and say that's the reason. But last season, Kyle Walker going off changed that game for us so much. I really do think so.
Anyway, that's history. We're not talking about Harry Kane, but Harry Kane, I am sure he is absolutely regretting, or I think he's gonna go to Daniel Levy and say you destroyed my future.
Maybe. I don't.
He ain't got the balls to say that. Yeah, exactly, guys. He ain't got the balls.
Big up Mojis. He says if we win it, we will still want more Premier League titles, but won't have to hear what a Champions League anymore.
By the way, I hate that term, that Warra.
Yeah, what a Champions League.
After this super chat, I want to ask a question to that. They will move the goalpost.
They'll move the goalpost about how much we spent and only won one. Anyways, Felipe here says, big up the panel. We're going to Istanbul. You ready, Mo? Come on, City. Big up yourself for that, Felipe. He says, Mtar Mizzy's become a YouTube member. You can become a member below. And I suppose there will be another call-in show on the weekend. So you can join that if you want to. And Olu here says, Haaland's off-the-ball runs were so good as well. See, the thing, before you allude to what your questions is as well, I was going to point out, that's just talking about how much space, that Man City had in the middle of the park, where they're usually more defensively solid in Madrid. And also, I think that said that you mentioned something yesterday about Haaland, saying his runs, it just causing issues, making defenses go back about 10 paces more than they should. So that's the why there's so much space, and because they have to run for him. But until Madrid got a little bit more, let's say,
I didn't like Haaland today, to be honest.
Before they got more brave, and they decided to go up the pitch. The only way to beat City is not by parking a bus at the Etihad, by the way. You just got to go and take them to their door, mate, and go toe for toe and see what you can get. That's the way I look at it. You can't park the bus there. It's impossible.
I actually think Haaland didn't have the greatest game on and off the ball, to be honest. Like the 3 missed chances or 2 missed chances, and also off the ball, I thought it was a little bit static. He wasn't great today. I thought he was too nervous, to be honest. He wanted to make things happen today. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's like I've been bought for this game. I need to finish this game. And I think even when he missed the first chance, I think it got into his head. Remember, 21 years old, guys. People keep forgetting this because of his numbers.
Yeah, 22.
Yeah, 22, and he's an athlete as well, so he ain't gonna burn out anytime soon.
I wanted to talk about other things with this today, with Man City today, is that how people want to say they want more Premier League, they want to do this. If Man City win the Champions League today, do they pass Arsenal in the history books?
No, you got to remember, Arsenal are
In
They have
overall
13 Premier
trophies.
League titles.
No,
They have Premier League titles,
Premier
13.
League. Do
Man
you mean
City
Premier
have
League?
6.
No, you mean league. You mean league.
Listen, when I say, listen, if you're an English club, you're not only, it's not only about how many
All right,
trophies
so
you win in
Mo,
the
so
Premier
get
League.
your numbers right. So get your numbers right.
But
Yeah.
what I mean is that
No,
I
but
mean
your numbers are wrong.
that Champions League.
Mo, hold on. You just said Arsenal have won 13 leagues and City have won 6.
Am I wrong?
Yeah, City have won 8.
Altogether.
Won 8.
We won 2 leagues.
Oh, you honestly really do believe what people say about us having no history.
I'm sorry, I didn't.
No,
I
so
didn't
just
know
so
that.
you're aware, and to any Chelsea fans watching this as well, we did this on Battle of North the other day. Before we got our money and before Chelsea got their money, we'd won 9 top trophies and Chelsea had won 6. So our history.
So you won 2 before the money.
Hold on, hold on, young man. I've got a book.
But anyway,
so
that means
just quickly, Mo, just a quick bit of education. And this bookmark, by the way, is not a recent one. This bookmark is when we were at Main Road. So this bookmark is before oil money. Before oil money, Manchester City had won 2 league
titles.
2 league titles. We'd won 4 FA Cups. We'd won 2 League Cups, and we'd won a European Cup.
Wow.
Yeah,
hold on, and just to give you this in our golden era, which was in 1967 to 68 season, we won the league. In 1968-69, we won the FA Cup. In 1970, we won the League Cup, and in 1969-70, we won the European Cup Winners' Cup. So we did a double as well, by the way, back then as well.
There you
4
go.
four trophies in 3 seasons in the late 60s.
Yeah. Also, big up for everyone that's rejoined. Again, make sure you hit that like button if you haven't. Again, I'm gonna keep reminding every 15 minutes or 12 minutes, shall I say, 215 likes. Get this to another 35 likes. We get to the 250 goal for the minimum, so that'd be sick as well. Let me quickly do this super chat. Jay Millsy, big up yourself. Obviously, I've seen you around a long time now. Never a foul. It's actually me and Daps was actually talking about never a foul earlier, and we was like, bro, we remember the day when we first started up back in June 2022, and it was a whole relaunch of after a year out of it. Never foul was basically not. It was all over the gaff. So let's just call it. We birthed in 221 typically, but 2022 June, that's when it came about again. Yeah. We were struggling. We had like 60, 70 people. Now we got over 300 people.
Bro, we were when we first started grinding back in May. We were like hitting 30 people.
We didn't do our first video until June the 1st. I remember because May we were grinding socials.
But that's what I was going to say, Mo, on that last super chat. Don't you think it's mad that because Mo came on, I think you came on late June with us, right?
Yeah.
And don't you think now that
like 5th of July,
our first season together, Mo, and is entering City in the Champions League
final. It's fantastic. Yeah,
again.
That's great.
First season together.
Yeah.
First season together, and Inter City in the Champions League final.
Inter City in the final. Who would have thought?
I can't lie. Mo, do me a favor, please. But Jay Millsy said, big up Daps, you legend. Just got back from the game himself. Been on the bevies. What a game. Absolutely epic. Istanbul.
And I
love these people. I love these fans when they come from the game, watch our channel here and super. Oh my God, man. It feels so good.
I hope to see you on Sunday at the Chelsea game as well.
But to answer your question as well, because I wanted to
ask. Let me get it then right. Let me get it right. Arsenal won 16 domestic cups, 14-2. Man City won 8-6, so 14. Man City now are about to win their 9th.
Arsenal wait. 16 domestic cups? What do you mean? As in
Arsenal have won more than that. Arsenal have won a lot, man.
No, Arsenal won 14 FA Cups, 2 Football League Cups. That's it.
Okay. That's a lot.
They've won a lot of trophies, but look.
That's a lot.
But let me just finish. But City, you won 14. You won 14. You won 8 and 6.
Bro, if we get them big ears, we got them big ears.
Yeah, but
that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Yeah, but Arsenal got like 49.
How much?
Arsenal got like 49.
I hear you. On the trophy, on the count.
49 what?
We have to respect that.
Respectfully, give it 10 more years, another decade, and then we'll have that conversation. Let the kids grow up.
Agreed. Yeah.
Let's see where Man City go past Pep Guardiola, because it'll always be Pep Guardiola when he does eventually move on, and see where it goes from there, and then have that conversation. If you're going to say, are they bigger than Chelsea? Yes. Man City are bigger than Chelsea, and actually, typically, overall, yes, they are. So there you go. They're almost successful club, bigger globally. Probably at this moment of time, they're growing. Anyways, it's not about the game. Let's talk about the game. I need to talk about Man City because this is what people haven't suspected yet, and the questions overall it. Gundogan and Bernardo Silva's futures, yeah. Gundogan might be going for on a free, and so might Bernardo Silva. I don't know if he's got
Kyle Walker
or not.
as well.
And also Kyle Walker's going to stay.
A year left. Yeah, I think. Do you know what
changes? What if
the
that
Bernardo?
changes?
Do you know what the Bernardo Silva one is such an interesting one, man, because none of us. Do you know what? Steve got it spot on when he said that if we win the Champions League this season and Haaland wins it for us, if Haaland turns around and says, "Do you know what? I've completed English football ahead of schedule, and I want to go to Madrid in the summer," we won't be mad at him. We won't be mad at him. He chose our club to complete English football with, right? He chose our club to complete English football with. If he completes English football with us, and we bought him for what, 70 million, something like that, 75 million, whatever people want to say. You know, Liverpool fans will inflate it. We'll probably play it down a bit, whatever it is, even if we say 80. If Haaland wins City the Champions League, the Premier League, the FA Cup, we do the 3-peat, and then he says, "I've completed English football and I want to go to Madrid and try and complete Spanish football," and we get 200 million for him, no problem. No problem. None whatsoever. It's mad. Is that arrogance? Am I being arrogant now, or am I just...
But I think you're allowed to be arrogant. No, there's times you can be. And if
last season I wasn't. At the start of this season I wasn't. But I think I've earned the right to be a little bit arrogant at the moment. I'm booking a flight to Istanbul as we talk.
Don't worry though, Daps. You got one more. You got to overcome one more masterclass. The eggs.
Yep, agreed. It's not one, and it's not one yet because they've won the eggs. The eggs. Forget Lukaku, and it's the eggs. The eggs have got us.
But yeah, no, but
we have no player that won the Champions League in our squad. Just to let you know, the manager is a new manager. Like we don't have anybody that is experienced enough in the squad that won it even with any other club.
Yeah, but I don't think neither has known the City players.
Yeah, I see your point, but
except Guardiola, obviously.
We'll see. But when it comes to that game. We'll talk about that game. For Inter, there is plenty of things to do before we get to that game. We have a cup final, and we have to secure Champions League football, and then we'll talk about. People say if we bottle what? We're the underdogs going to that game. Come on, just give me a break. We're like, I'm giving my team.
The question is again. I'm going to rebuke it as well. Is Bernardo Silva and Gundogan, if they both choose to move on? I'm not being funny. Do you know how hard that will be? No matter what player you get, if they do, you know how hard that is going to be to replace.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Not as hard.
This is where we trust, but this is where, bro. This is where if you say right now, if Pep leaves, I'm going to say the same answer to that as I'm going to answer to this. I trust our board, bro. Khaldoon hired Pep Guardiola, right? So if Pep goes, you don't think Khaldoon's got a backup plan? Do you honestly think that Khaldoon is not the type of guy that like has a backup plan? If Khaldoon was in the army, yeah, do you think he'd be walking around with one strap, or do you think he'd have another strap in his waist and he'd have
only one Pep? There's only one Pep.
There is only one Pep. There is only one Pep. There's also only one Khaldoon.
Yeah, but he's not a manager. Like, to be fair, Pep.
Listen. All I'm saying is, we are not Liverpool. We are not Liverpool. This is why we are still here. We are not Liverpool. We plan ahead, right? So if you think, if the board do let Bernardo and Gundogan both go, it's because there's a plan of what's going to happen.
No, but what I'm trying to say is just to replace
I trust Pep.
The quality and experience.
I trust Khaldoon.
No, I hear what you're saying. I'm not even talking about Pep. You're talking about
clutching for how no.
No, but you will though. That's the thing.
All right, okay.
Because
I've heard that because your manager says eras come to an end, bro.
They do.
How did that end?
Because all eras come to an end, whether
they do. But he said that at the start of the season when you were like in a title race. And how's that ended, bro?
All right, one sec. Did Eric Ten Hag say that directly that it's going to happen this season?
So all right. So I'm going to die, guys. I'm going to die.
No, not that. But did he say it was going to happen this season? He just said it does come to an end. Eventually, things come to an end. He's not going to say this season. You can't big up yourself with that shit squad and tell me era is going to come to an end when you got Harry Maguire in the squad. Come on, man, make it make sense. But what I'm trying to say is replacing the quality and the experience is something that you can't replace with money, regardless of the player and the quality in the end. Because Bernardo, nobody can do what they do.
And that's what I'm saying. That
yeah,
right now it's all these players.
It doesn't mean get worse in in that respect.
Let me remind you of what happens at Manchester City. Yeah, last season, I'm going to need your help with this. Actually, last season, who left last season? What legend left last season?
No.
Fernandinho. Sorry, thank you. Right, so here we go. I'm on the roll now. So last season, Fernandinho left. Right, the season before that, David Silva left. The season before that, Sergio Aguero left. The season before that, Yaya Toure left. The season before that, Vincent Kompany left. No, that might be the other way around. Vinny, sorry. Then Yaya the season before that. The season before that, Zabaleta left. Manchester City let one legend, and when I say legend, I'm saying one of the key elder players of the team leave at a time. They don't go, no problem, we're going to get rid of 4 in one go. It doesn't happen. Now, people can right now, before the transfer window is open, before people can start these, all these players are going to leave. Manchester City will not allow Gundogan and Bernardo Silva to both leave in the same summer. So right now,
if one does leave, who would it be?
For me, I would like it to be Bernardo Silva, his swan song winning the Champions League all day long. It's written in the stars, because when we did the domestic treble, Bernardo Silva was pissed off that we did not go further in the Champions League. That man has put in a shift. Let him go. Gundogan needs to stay here to pass on his knowledge to whoever's going to be the future eights for this club, because as a football brain, there's nothing better than Gundogan.
Can I address this comment? Sorry, this one. City legend, not a Premier League legends. Who are we talking about here?
Yeah,
are we talking about? Gundogan. Let me tell you, when you win 5 Premier League titles, about to win your 6th, am I wrong, Daps? Or he's gonna win 5 now, right? This is gonna be his 5th.
This will be his 5th, yeah.
His 5th. If you win the 5 Premier League titles, being an integral part of a team, you are kind of part of a Premier League legend, because how many people in the history have won Premier League titles and are not legends?
And this is a great one for you, because Kevin De Bruyne, people will tell me, cannot be seen as a European legend, right? Because he's never won the Champions League. So, ladies and gentlemen, how the hell is Steven Gerrard considered a Premier League legend? He's never fucking won one.
I think he goes down because of the amount of goals he scored in the end.
All right, and that's fine, bro. But you're now going to tell me that Gundogan, who's been clutch in the last 3 Premier Leagues, is not a Premier League legend. Now I'll tell you what that is. What that is Manchester City tax. That's what that is.
It's a nostalgia. It's like, oh no, you cannot compare him.
But they're the same players. Them same. If I don't know, that might be an Arsenal fan. But if that's an Arsenal fan, they'll say Gundogan's not a Premier League legend, but Ljungberg is. Right? That's the type of crap we have to put up with.
Yeah, but if you say Gerrard is not a Premier League legend, you destroy a whole era of Liverpool supporter.
I'm just saying,
because they clutch into this. Because I don't consider Gerrard as a Premier League based on what? Based on performances?
Gerrard's legacy in the Prem is literally slipping at Anfield, mate. Couldn't get
I swear, Cass is correct. It's not a dig at Gerrard, but he's remembered for that slip more than anything else in his career. It's true. If you ask anybody, oh, Steven Gerrard is like the guy that slipped. Is that the guy that slipped and gave Man City the title and lost Liverpool the title?
This is the icing on the cake. You know what? I thought I'm going to bed being pissed off tonight. Yeah, really. And there's the Slippy G, man. Let's go. I'll take some of that.
Why, Bailey? Why? Tell me. Can someone explain to me why is Gerrard the Premier League legend? Based on what did he do?
Because to be fair, his legendary status literally comes from one. He was at this club for his whole career. Gerrard's talent alone, his clutch goals. So
what's the difference between him as Mark Noble?
FA Cup moment when FA Cup was a big thing back then. The young player he was, he took captaincy as a young man, took Liverpool to where they needed to be, and obviously passed on the reins. And obviously, I think Champions League do count as well. But then you're going to say it's the same thing for Gundogan, maybe. But if it's
who has a bigger stature, Salah or?
I don't know. To be, because like there's so many legends of who's been in the Premier League. Like let's say, look,
what about Mark Noble? Is Mark Noble a Premier League legend?
Oh come on, bro! What are we doing?
He's a West Ham legend.
What are we doing here? Mark Noble, man said. Mark
Anyways, I don't know.
He's a West Ham legend. I'm not saying every Manchester City player is. Because I had this conversation on Battle of the North yesterday, and people say, "Oh, City are trying to label everyone legends," and I'm with it. I understand. You can't just say, but it does get to a point where, like, so Gundogan is a great example, right? Because at the moment, you'd say if you're talking City legends, you're going to say Aguero, you're going to say Company, you're going to say David Silva, you're going to probably say Yaya Toure. For me personally, I put Fernandinho in there, but then this season, it's like, right, Gundogan. This team, Gundogan was our top goal scorer the first season, scored very important goals in the second against Villa in the dying game. And this season, he is our club captain, right? He is our club captain. We are potentially going to do a 3P and a treble in one. So it's a conversation. I'm not saying give him a statue because there's not enough room. But if you're going to if Arsenal fans are going to put in all the players that they want to put in, then I think we can also put Gundogan's in the conversation. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, look, for me,
I'm just rattling Liverpool fan right behind me here. This is my greatest Premier League midfielders, and it has Gerrard in it. So
for me, I don't know. For me, it's all down to preference. For me, if you're talking about the City side, who instantly gets in there just from the top of the head, is like, I can't lie. What Haaland's done this season is instantly legendary in the Premier League because he's going to go down in stat history. So one season it only took. Kevin De Bruyne, 100%. And that's the instant ones that come from there, man. Rodri, 100%. I can't lie. Well, he's still got a couple years to go by. If he does chat, yeah, man, it's all subjective. To be fair, there's no point even talking about it, going on about it. It's all preference in it, and it's just trying away from the conversation that we was talking about in the first place, which was how shit Madrid kind of were, but how really good Man City were. You know?
Congratulations, Daps. You congratulated me yesterday. Nothing between us now. We'll see you in Istanbul. And hopefully my club can do the work.
Haaland's had a legendary season. That doesn't make him. If you had a legendary season, that means you're a legend, bro. Because you had a legend. A legend means you're legendary. Does it not? Is that not the ultimate meaning?
Yeah, you'll be remembered forever.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm sorry, but you don't score how many goals.
Alan Shearer is a legend. Alan Shearer is a legend.
I'm sorry, but I know it sounds too good to be true because it hasn't even been here for what, 12 months or a whole year. But I'm sorry. That's legendary. That's a legend. That's going to go into the legends. So you're legendary.
The definition. Bro. Your name will always be, every time we'll talk about goal scorers in the Premier League, Erling Haaland's name will come up in 20 years.
He's still got 3 games to go.
Yeah.
And see, I'm sorry, like, I hate to say it, but not already, like, maybe if you're a legendary player and you've done it in the Premier League, you're a legendary, bro. You're a Premier League legend then, because that's what it is. You cemented some part of legacy in the Prem. Like, Gerrard's legacy of Prem, his Premier League legacy is legendary for slipping. That means you're a legendary player. There you go. Done.
Sorry, yeah.
Anyway, congratulations. So great game.
Thank you.
And we'll see you in the final.
That's what's a legend for me as well. Done.
Anyway, people, apologies if I have come across a little bit arrogant today, but I'm in a very good mood, and we've just got to the Champions. We've got. I do it when I've just beat flipping Leeds 2-0. Who gives a shit?
Man is arrogant when he beat Wolves at home 2-0. He's like,
well, I wouldn't call it arrogance. It's just like, I told you, lot. Like I told you so. Like it's been. I think I've had so many of them moments this year. Like a lot of I told you so. Like when I pretty much get my head leveled, I'm like, yeah, watch. I told you.
I made so many enemies in the last days not supporting City that people are just waiting for me, man.
But anyways,
I made so many enemies. I'm getting texts now. I'm getting people saying like, "We'll see you in the final. We'll destroy you in the final."
Shut up, bro. Listen, I can. It's fine. When people talk the truth, people aren't happy. So
yeah. Anyway. But yeah, man. We're gonna wrap up there. We'll be back tomorrow with some sort of content. I think I'm on DR. I'm not too sure yet. Other than that, we've got some sort of shows going on at some point in probably the evening. So look out for that one. And we're looking for some Kendall tiers as well, as much as Specs. Newcastle play Brighton. This could really ruin their top 4 hopes. If you're a Liverpool fan or a Man United fan, it could be great. If not, it might be just back to business for Newcastle. Forza Inter, always. Let's go. And yeah, man, it's been a good stream. Make sure you smash the like.
It's been a good night. It's been. Do you know? It's been a great couple of months for me. Long may it continue.
We cannot replace him. We cannot.